Okay, all right. I'm Theo Floor. I'm a Decani tenor, and I just joined Compline Choir in summer of 2021.
I'm Scott Kovacs. I have been in the choir since 2014, Trinity Sunday 2014, and I'm on the cantor side and I sing bass.
Yeah, so my name is James Wilcox and I've been singing the choir for 7 years.
I'm Ken Pendergrass. I sing tenor and I have been in the choir since 2012, so 9 years.
Thanks.
September, yeah.
My name is Jeremy Matthias, and I sing bass, second bass. I'm also the associate director for the Compline Choir.
When did you start singing with the choir?
Good question. It was March of 2005 when I first started, somewhere around there.
My name is Vern Nicodemus. I sing second bass. I've been in the choir since 1975.
Hi, my name is Ken Peterson and I sing second tenor in the choir, and I've been in the choir since 1964 in October, so we're coming up on the 57th anniversary of that date. Well, actually one of the big highlights for me was when the organ was installed here at St. Mark's, and the fellow who got me started in Compline, he and I came up in his little Volkswagen Beetle, and all the pipes were laying on the floor of the cathedral. We went around and blowing all the wood pipes and just having a high old time. And,
since our beloved choirmaster Peter Halleck died, a highlight for me really has been Jason Anderson taking control of the baton, as it were. He is quite different from Peter, and yet he has much of the same feeling of the ethos and the feeling of the numinous that makes the Compline Choir what it is. So he has been an incredible boon to this choir. But one of the statements that Peter always made about himself, that was so endearing, was that he said, "I am a virtuoso intuitive," and that was basically, that was his excuse for, "My boy, do it my way. I know what I mean, even if you don't."
I remember at the very beginning, so probably that first Sunday of the pandemic, it was the night before that, I should say, we were having a couple of friends over for dinner, not even still realizing what we were in, or what we were about to be stepping into. This airborne global pandemic, this worldwide health emergency. And we were talking about the fact that Compline and St. Mark's were essentially shutting their doors, as terrible as that sounds. Compline has become my spiritual home. And I find a true centering here every week that I show up and participate in this community. So missing that with the full choir, at one point going down to just two of us, it's so hard because I need that community. One of our members recently expressed that they have difficulty praying by themselves, and that resonated with me. And
there were moments where I realized we would make it, and there are moments where I wasn't sure how we were going to keep it all together. But I think the moment that I realized that this community would do whatever it takes to remain a community of prayer, a beloved community of prayer, was the Sunday after Thanksgiving, when Jason and I were the only two human beings in the church chanting the office of Compline privately to maintain the continuity of the office. The chain is of reciting Compline at St. Mark's Cathedral is unbroken because of the commitment of this group of people to ensuring that the office would be chanted continuously. And that is, again, a holy thing, a remarkable thing. I think that the women's Compline is the most natural, important, and a little late in coming addition to the organic and normal evolution of the institution of the Compline Choir at St. Mark's Cathedral. This is a building, this is a place, this is a congregation, this is an intersection that believes in social justice, that believes in justice for all people, that believes in the representation of everyone, and that we had the right opportunity at the right time, still maybe a little late, to introduce the idea of women singing the office here. And I'm glad it stuck.
Well, when I joined, I actually wasn't aware of the travel that Compline does. I know it's not very frequent, but sounds like there's some very cool, unique opportunities there.
Our two trips that we made to England, and one in 2000 and one in 2019.
I don't think you can top going back to the essential birthplace of where this choir started, and that was when Peter Halleck was in England at Canterbury Cathedral, Martyrs, and to be able to sing the final responses that Peter wrote in Canterbury Cathedral to conclude a candlelight tour. I can't imagine anything greater than that. But then we ended up, near the shrine of Thomas Becket, and I could tell, we were closing, and Jason's, we got to sing something. We're all naturally standing in this circle, and I knew I could tell where it was going, and so allowing myself to truly and fully be in that moment with my community is something I can't ever imagine topping.
And I also think that is a thing about what's unique to Compline. So when we were in Canterbury, Max, our wonderful presenter, we were having a little side conversation when we went upstairs in that room having tea. I don't know if you were there, but he was talking to some people, and he was saying, we really didn't know what men's voices could do. Or he said, until we kind of heard you sing, right? And that sort of timbre and the way Peter has started those incredible anthems he's done and the psalm settings, they're really unique voice settings for men that I just don't think you hear them any other place.
Yeah, I guess one day I think it would be cool to either read or cantor, though I definitely don't feel ready for that now, but I think at some point in the future that could be a very cool thing to do as well.
Yeah, for me, they're totally different. Like a night when I'm canting, I wouldn't exactly call it leadership, but it's definitely a lot more pressure. And I remember when I first joined the choir, every night was kind of like that, even when I wasn't canting, just as on a normal night. But now I sort of feel that way on a canting night. It's like I feel it's definitely a little high strung when I'm canting. So I really appreciate, it makes me appreciate more the nights when I'm not canting, because I get to pray a little more deeply and actually relax into it, self in trouble. So there was a night in particular where I had not practiced that transition as a cantor and ended up sort of just wandering around, and the choir saved me, after I didn't really intone the nunc.
No amount of fixing in post could do.
No, that was just some vocal wandering there.
Here's another memory I had right after 9/11, singing such, typically Compline material as Psalm 91, I will not fear the terror by night, but place yourself in that kind of thing, and I would be singing Compline and think, well, what this is about is no matter what happens, we are in the hands of God, and that will not change. Yeah.